On a sunny Wednesday afternoon in April, in a distant village in the Kamchatka district, the locals were buzzing with excitement over an unusual event. What had caught their attention was a surprising sight on the coastline, a wild polar bear. It was a sight none of them had ever seen before, and it left them wondering how this creature, normally found hundreds of kilometers away in the Arctic, had ended up here. The story of the bear's arrival was quite intriguing. One day, while the bear was out looking for food, the ice it was standing on broke away from the mainland. The bear must have tried to return to land, but it was surrounded by icy water, making it impossible. And so began an unexpected adventure for this young bear. After several days, or maybe even weeks, the bear found itself in a completely foreign place, far from its home, about 450 miles or 700 kilometers away. When it reached the village and stopped by the riverbank, it was desperately hungry. The bear tried to search for food, but it had no luck. Not only was this new land unfamiliar, but it was unusually warm, and there was very little food for the bear to find. It roamed around the outskirts of the village, avoiding getting too close. The bear's sharp ears picked up the distant sounds of people going about their daily lives. Usually, polar bears stay away from places where humans leave, but this bear was hungry and tired. Despite the potential danger, it moved closer to the village in search of help. It spotted a building nearby, unaware that it was the village's police station. Weakened and exhausted from its long journey, the bear lay down with a sad and helpless look, as if asking for assistance. It didn't take long for the local police to notice this unexpected visitor. An alarm was raised, and two police officers cautiously approached to get a better look at the massive bear with white fur and sharp claws. They were understandably wary of getting too close. The police officers were taken aback when they realized what kind of animal it was. Before them lay a big and intimidating young male polar bear, who had somehow ended up in their small village. They couldn't believe their eyes, but they also saw that something was wrong with the bear. It seemed to have a serious injury on one of its front paws. The bear lay there, looking miserable, with its injured paw pressed against its body. The police officers felt sorry for the bear and knew they had to do something. They contacted local wildlife experts. When the wildlife experts heard about this unusual situation, they were amazed. They rushed to the scene to tend to the bear's injured paw and make sure it could rest. The locals started calling the bear Umka, and he became a sort of celebrity in the village. People brought him plenty of fish and treats every day, even though Umka only ate a little. It was clear that the bear wanted to go home, despite appreciating the kindness of the villagers. Umka became a sensation and drew visitors from nearby villages. The officers closely watched over Umka to ensure no one got too close while they considered what to do next. They consulted with experts who agreed that Umka had no chance of survival in Kamchatka and needed to return to his Arctic home. But the problem was how to make that happen. The bear was too disoriented to find its way back, and even if it could, the journey would be too much for it. The situation seemed hopeless. Vladimir Gordienko, who leads the State Hunting Supervision Department of our Regional Forestry and Wildlife Protection Agency, shared some important information about Umka. He explained that Umka's situation wasn't unique. Sometimes, polar bears get carried away from their home on floating ice when the ice suddenly breaks away from the mainland. Sadly, they often can't find their way back or find food in their new surroundings. This usually leads to their death after this involuntary relocation. But the people here didn't want that to happen. They were determined to help these polar bears. News about the unexpected visitor quickly spread, and many folks followed his story closely. In just a few days, they took steps to send the bear back to the Arctic, where it truly belonged. The regional governor, Vladimir Ilyukin, reached out to the emergency minister, Yevgeny Zinishev, and asked for a helicopter to take Umka back to the polar region. They even made a special cage for the bear, as Sergei Khabarov, an official from Kamchatka, mentioned. 8 days after Umka arrived, Russia's emergencies ministry organized a daring air rescue mission to fly Umka back to the icy Arctic. It was a challenging task that had never been done before, but the people were determined to make it happen. When they arrived in Kamchatka, they gently put Umka to sleep temporarily to ensure a safe flight. Alexander Selnitsyn, a wildlife consultant from Kamchatka, confirmed that Umka was in good health and well fed. They carefully put the drowsy bear into the specially made cage and loaded it onto the helicopter. The villagers cheered as the officials lifted off with Umka. But something unexpected happened during the flight that no one could have predicted. It was a long journey, and suddenly they heard a sound coming from the cage. Umka had woken up. Everyone was cautious, not wanting to startle the bear with sudden movements. The crew was worried that the bear might try to break the cage or disturb the Mi-8 helicopter during the 700-kilometer flight. This could have put everyone's lives at risk and jeopardized the entire mission. Thankfully, it seemed like the bear understood that these people were trying to help him. To everyone's relief, he stayed calm inside the cage, watching them with his dark eyes. Throughout the flight, he remained conscious but didn't cause any trouble. A spokesperson from the Kamchatka regional government told the press it was noisy and Umka was frightened, but he stayed brave and composed. The flight went smoothly until they reached their destination where Umka was going to be released. After landing, they opened the cage door and encouraged Umka to come out. The bear hesitated for a moment and then ran off into the wilderness. It was a fantastic success, and Umka was finally back in his familiar home. From the dramatic rescue to the careful operation and eventual release, each step of this journey highlights the remarkable resilience of nature and the crucial role of human compassion in wildlife conservation. If you found this story inspiring, be sure to check these 2 amazing animal rescue stories. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more incredible content, keeping you updated on the wonders and triumphs in the world of animal care and rescue.